On page 3 of our assignment, we have a very similar problem. So I go negative 5c plus 6 equals negative 69. First thing we do, we want to solve for c, so I'm going to minus 6 from both sides. Bring down your negative 5c. Notice how we keep things in columns. Equals negative 69 minus 6 is negative 75. I'll divide both sides by negative 5. A negative divided by negative is a positive. And 75 divided by 5 is 15. So c is 15. So if I want to find 6c minus 15, I go 6 times 15 minus 15. 6 times 15 is 90. Minus 15 is 75. And there's your answer. On questions 10 through 12, we're going to get involved and get you introduced to what's called a literal equation. A literal equation is just an equation that has more than one variable. On this case, I just want you to get x by itself. So really, we're not doing anything different, except we're going to have a variable. You're not going to get a number answer. You're going to get an algebraic expression for an answer. So the first thing I do on the first one, I'm going to highlight what I want to solve for. So I want to solve for x, don't I? So I don't move the x. Leave the x alone. I don't know why that highlighted the whole thing. I just want the x. And it's not working, so I'm going to punt that. So I'm going to minus 7 from both sides. So then I'll get a times x equals negative 2. Now I'll try highlighting the x. There we go. Now I don't want to move the x. What is the a doing to x? Well, it's multiplying. What's the opposite of multiply? The opposite of multiply is divide. So we divide both sides by a. The a's reduce on the left side. So you get negative 2 over a. That's what you're going to do for each one of these. Okay, let's take a look at number 11. I want to get x by itself again. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add 4 to both sides. So I get negative 1. I take that positive 1 over a times x equals 13. 13. Now, what's this bar mean? This bar means divide. So what's the opposite of dividing? Multiply. So I'm going to multiply both sides by a. On the left side, notice the a's reduce. So we just get x. X equals 13a. Just like the answer I told you. Okay. Let's take a look at number 12. I want to get x by itself again. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. The 2's reduce on the left side. So we get negative ax equals negative 10. Then we divide both sides by negative a, because I want to get x by itself. So x equals a negative divided by a negative. It's a positive, so you get 10 over a. And there is your answer. On 14, it's an always, sometimes, or never problem. So I'm really looking at the sum of 3 consecutive odd integers is an even integer. Well, if I think here, I'm going to add x would be my first one, plus x plus 1 plus x plus 2. That would be 3x plus 3. Notice, no matter what kind of number I pick for x, and when I multiply it by 3, it'll be an odd, or it could be an even, because 3 times 1 is 3, but 3 plus 3 is an even. But if I add an odd to an even, I always get an odd. And what happens if I do like 2? 3 times 2 is 6, that's even. 3 times 3 is 9. An odd plus an odd is an even. I'm always going to get an even. I'm not going to get an odd. So this is it will never be odd. And finally, on question 15, we're going to make a proportion here. A scale factor of 2 to 3 means 2 for the first corresponds to 3 for the second. We know the perimeter of the smaller triangle, that's going to be 56. And I don't know the bigger one, which is x. Well, I look at this one, I can see these are equivalent fractions. Because if I take 2 times 28, I get 56, don't I? So if I take 3 times 28, 3 times 28 is 84, which is choice B. I could have solved this a different way, but I like the equivalent fractions on that one.